Parliament. We shall start with the first item in the list of businesses, which is oath or affirmation. Secretary General and members to take the oath, please.
From the Kolkata South constituency of West Bengal will now take the oath or affirmation. Sir, would you like to take the oath or affirmation?
Ma'am, I would like to take the oath.
In which language would you like to take the oath?
In English. Having been elected as the member of the lower house of the National Youth Parliament, do swear in the name of God that I will be a true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India. I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of the nation and will faithfully discharge upon the duty which I am bound to do.
What your contribution?
Miss Gracie Singh, who stands elected from the Lucknow constituency of Uttar Pradesh, will now take the oath or affirmation. Ma'am, would you like to take the oath or affirmation?
I would like to take oath.
In which language would you like to take the oath?
In Hindi, please. नमस्कार, मैं ग्रेसी सिंह जो लोकसभा की सदस्य निर्वाचित हुई हूँ, ईश्वर की शपथ लेती हूँ कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगी। मैं भारत की अखंडता और प्रभुता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगी तथा जिस पद को मैं ग्रहण करने वाली हूँ उसके कर्तव्यों का निर्वहन श्रद्धापूर्वक करूंगी। धन्यवाद।
Miss Jia, who stands elected from the Batinda constituency of Punjab, will now take the oath or affirmation.
I would like to take the oath.
In which language would you like to take the oath?
In Punjabi, please. मैं जिया लोकसभा सांसद ਦਾ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਬਣਨ ਲਈ ਚੁਣੀ ਗਈ ਹਾਂ। ਮੈਂ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦੇ ਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸਹੁੰ ਲੈਂਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਸਥਾਪਿਤ ਭਾਰਤ ਦੇ ਸੰਵਿਧਾਨ ਪ੍ਰਤੀ ਸੱਚਾ ਵਿਸ਼ਵਾਸ ਅਤੇ ਵਫਾਦਾਰੀ ਰੱਖਾਂਗੀ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਭਾਰਤ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰਭੂਸੱਤਾ ਅਤੇ ਅਖੰਡਤਾ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਠੇਸ ਨਾ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਅਤੇ ਜਿਸ ਅਹੁਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਸੰਭਾਲਣ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹਾਂ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਵਫਾਦਾਰੀ ਨਾਲ ਨਿਭਾਵਾਂਗੀ। ਧੰਨਵਾਦ।
This house of the demise of 28 Indian nationals in the city of Mosul. We are all aware of the ongoing gruesome war in Iraq against the terror of IS. 24 of our countrymen were abducted last year, whose dead bodies were recently exhumed. It deeply saddens our heart to accept this harsh truth that we lost 28 of our able nationals to the war. It is a moment of deep sorrow and we all pray for their souls.
Madam, I rise to pay my tribute to 28 Indian nationals who lost their lives to the crucial war. The centre has announced a compensation of ₹10 lakh to the bereaved families. ये एक ऐसा दर्द है जिसे शब्दों में बयान नहीं किया जा सकता। My condolences with the grieving family members and the entire nation mourns with them for the loss their families. At the same time, we stand united against terrorism. There should no be distinction between good and bad terrorism. Terrorism is a crime against humanity at large, and we stand with each and every nation who has suffered from this cause. More than 2 decades after 9/11 and a decade after 26/11 in Mumbai, terrorism is an enemy of humanity and there should be no if buts in this. India strongly condemns in all forms and manifestation and stands solidarity with each and every nation and country and the people of Iraq who have suffered from this cause.
Madam, I completely associate myself with the tributes paid by you and the leader of the house. 28 of our nationals lost their lives in the war-torn Iraq. We mourn this loss and stand along all those people who are fighting against all forms of terrorism. So, I would like to associate myself and the opposition in sending condolences to the bereaved families and do so. Thank you.
The House now may stand in silence for a while to express our deep sorrow. Secretary General, please convey the message of condolences to the family.
Yes, madam.
The introduction of new ministers. Prime Minister, please.
Honorable Speaker, I have the pleasure introducing to you and through you to my house, my colleagues and the new ministers. Ms. Ada Diman, Minister of Defence, Ms. Lakshmi Juneja, Minister of Ayush.
Honorable members, let us move on to the next item in the list of businesses, which is the question hour. Starting with question number 101, Ms. Sonakshi Thaya, please.
Madam Speaker, will the Minister of Home Affairs be pleased to state whether the government has taken any concrete steps to make the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir free from terrorism, and if so, the details thereof?
Minister of Home Affairs, Ms. Tanu Sharma, please answer the question.
Madam Speaker, the Minister will now answer the question raised by Ms. Sonakshi Thaya on the floor of the House. Yes, Speaker, Madam, the government has a policy of zero tolerance against the terrorism. The approach of the government is to dismantle the terror ecosystem. Security measures are being strengthened to sustain peace and stability in Jammu and Kashmir. The strategies adopted and the action taken for controlling the terror incidents in Jammu and Kashmir were effective, continued and sustained action against the terrorists and banning of anti-national organizations, crackdown on terror finance, day and night area domination, round-the-clock Naka at the strategic point, sharing the intelligence input among all the security forces prevailing in Jammu and Kashmir. Madam Speaker, I assure you that I submit my details to the table of the House.
The floor is now open for any supplementaries. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 102, Mr. Nipun Vyas.
Madam Speaker, my question to the Home Minister is, will the Minister of Home Affairs be pleased to state whether the government has initiated any steps for an integrated flood management plan for the flood-prone zones of Chennai suburban, and if so, details thereof? Whether any committee of the National Executive Committee has been formed to consider various proposals in this regard, and if so, whether the meetings were held and the details thereof. Whether any funds have been allocated from the National Disaster Mitigation Fund as envisaged in the 15th Finance Commission, and if so, the details thereof, and if not, the reason thereof.
Minister of State Home Affairs, Tanvi Devi ji, please answer the question.
Madam Speaker, the 15th Financial Commission in its report recommended from National Disaster Mitigation Fund NDMF recommended an amount of Rs 500 crore for Mumbai, Chennai and Kolkata continue. The allocation from ND and F is on a cost-sharing basis with the states contributing 10% of funds from state resources. The central government has also approved the proposal of Greater Chennai Corporation. And Madam Speaker, I have further deposited the details of the meeting held to the House. If my fellow friends want to see them, they can. Thank you.
Any supplementary questions, Mr. Nichols? No, madam. The floor is now open for any supplementaries. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 103. Arabic, please.
Madam Speaker, will the Minister of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution be pleased to state whether the government is taking any initiatives towards the digitization of ration cards for beneficiary database for correct identification and to bring transparency in allocation of food grains? If so, the details of the identified and developed model fair price shops to provide various services of CAC and enable them to do banking and postal services state-wise, specifically in the state of Rajasthan. Whether the ministry has constituted any monitoring cell to track the progress made by SU model FPS, and if so, the details thereof.
Minister of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution System, Sevya Sharma ji, please.
Honorable Speaker, as part of the technology-driven public distribution system reform, rationings and beneficiaries database has been digitized in all states and union territories. The transparency portal, online grievance redressal facility and toll-free number has also been implemented in all states and union territories. Also, the online allocation has been implemented in states and union territories except the union territories of Chandigarh and Puducherry, which has adopted DBT cash transfer scheme. And supply chain has been computerized in 31 states and union territories. So far, nearly 5.41 lakh out of total 5.43 lakh fair price shops has been automated by installing e-post devices for the distribution of food grains in a transparent manner through the Aadhaar authentication of beneficiaries. Also, the department has signed a memorandum of understanding with CSC e-governance services India Ltd for the delivery of CSC services. As per status received from CSC, about 42,739 fair price shops has been onboarded, including Rajasthan. Thank you, Speaker.
Let's move on to the next question. Question number 104. Ms. Moshika Narayan.
Madam, will the Minister of Finance be pleased to state whether there is any scheme to provide educational loans for higher studies through banks to the poor and needy students of the country? If so, whether the government will mortgage the non-agricultural land of the concerned students at the time of distributing the educational loan. Any schemes to nullify the condition of the bank to mortgage the non-agricultural land of the concerned students. And if so, the reason therefore, whether the ministry has conducted any study on the key factors contributing to the growing educational loan prices in India, and if so, the details thereof state-wise and the shortcomings of the government support and policy frameworks regarding the educational loan.
All scheduled commercial banks has been advised by the Reserve Bank of India to adopt the Model Education Loan Scheme formulated by IBA, Indian Banks Association. The scheme provides need-based education loans. There are no margins for loans up to Rs 4 lakhs.
The repayment period after moratorium is up to 15 years for all loans and much more. PSBs have further informed that non-agricultural land is taken as collateral for loans, as agricultural land is not complained to securitization and reconstruction of financial assets. And enforcement of security interests act will help. As per the information furnished by PSBs, it is further informed that in terms of number of accounts and amount disbursed, the YOY growth during the FY 2023 to 2024 was 17% and 14.5% respectively, with details provided at the table manner. Further, Department of Higher Education, Ministry of Education implements a CSIS scheme which provides a full interest subsidy till moratorium on educational loans up to rupees 10 lakh for students of economically weaker sections with family income up to rupees 4 lakhs annually. Thank you.
Any supplementary questions, Ms. Mokshita?
No, madam.
The floor is now open for any supplementaries. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 105. Jasmeet ji, please.
Madam Speaker, will the Minister of Railways be pleased to state use of renewable energy in Indian Railways? The details regarding the progress made by the Indian Railways Organization for Alternate Fuels and expanding new sources of environment-friendly fuels and energy in Indian Railways. The details about the manner in which Amrit Bharat Station Scheme promotes the use of renewable energy in railway stations and the state-wise detailed status of 100% electrification initiative of Minister of Railways.
Minister of Railway, Ms. Ujjwal Perwar, please.
Madam Speaker, a statement is laid on the table of the House. The statement referred to in reply to parts A to C of start question number 105 to be answered in Lok Sabha on 28th October 2024 regarding the use of renewable energy in Indian Railways. IROAF was formed to explore alternate fuel in Indian Railways. It has promoted use of blended biodiesel with partial substitution of diesel with CNG and LNG for traction purpose. These initiatives are now being handled by the Northern Railway. Amrit Bharat Station Scheme envisages gradual shifting towards sustainable and environmental friendly solutions as per availability of funds, which includes, pay attention my friend, which includes the use of renewable energy. 100% electrification of broad gauge network has been achieved in almost all parts of India.
Any supplementary questions? Let's proceed to the next question. Question number 106. Ms. Gauri Kodara, please.
माननीय सभापति महोदय, भारतीय रेलवे का प्रति किलोमीटर औसत किराया 2013-14 से 2021-22 तक 160% बढ़ गया है। हाल ही में कुछ अन्य रेल किराए में भी बढ़ोतरी हुई है। मुंबई पटना ट्रेन में स्लीपर क्लास की रेलवे टिकट का किराया 800 रुपए से बढ़कर 2625 रुपए हो गया है और सेकंड एसी टिकट का किराया बढ़कर 9395 रुपए हो गया है। इन सभी बातों को मद्देनजर रखते हुए मैं आज इस सदन के माध्यम से माननीय रेल मंत्री जी से यह प्रश्न पूछना चाहूंगी कि रेल किराए में लगातार बढ़ोतरी का क्या कारण है, क्योंकि
आखिर इसके पीछे कारण क्या है? पिछले कुछ सालों में भारतीय रेल किराए की वृद्धि लगभग न के बराबर हुई। जब सरकार ने रेल किराए वृद्धि का निर्णय लिया तब हमें पता था कि हमारी मांग अवश्य खींची जाएगी। शायद आप सभी इस बात से वाकिफ नहीं होंगे कि वर्ष 2023 में भारतीय रेल विभाग को 20,17,000 करोड़ का नुकसान संभावित था। पिछली सरकारों ने राजनीतिक कारणों से रेल किराए में वृद्धि नहीं होने दी, तो जैसे जैसे साल बीतते गए वैसे वैसे डेफिसिट का घड़ा बढ़ता चला गया। मैं आप सभी को ये स्पष्ट रूप से बता दूं कि ये नई रेल किराया प्रणाली सिर्फ राजधानी शताब्दी व दुरंतो ट्रेनों पर ही लागू की गई है। आज भी देश में 95% जनता अनारक्षित सामान्य वर्ग में सफर करती है और सामान्य रेल विभाग को मिलने वाले हर 66 रुपए में से 1% के रूप में अर्थात 6 रुपए यात्री किराए से, 28 बच्चों से तो 96 अन्य आय होता है। अब इसमें से मेंटेनेंस पे लोन चुकाने में लग जाता है। इसलिए ये जानना बहुत आवश्यक है कि जितने पैसे में आप 50 ग्राम का टूथपेस्ट ले लेते हैं, उतने पैसे में आप दिल्ली से चंडीगढ़ तक का सफर कर पाते हैं। कि हम लखनऊ से कानपुर तक का सफर मात्र 20 रुपए में कर सकते हैं। माननीय महोदया, अब इससे सस्ता और क्या ही हो सकता है। मैं आप सभी से प्रार्थना करना चाहती हूँ कि आप रेल किराए की वृद्धि के निर्णय को स्वागत करें। व्यक्तिगत लाभ के बजाय देश के लाभ के बारे में सोचें। धन्यवाद।
Any supplementaries, Ms. Gauri? No, ma'am. The floor is now open for any supplementary questions. Okay, let's proceed to the next question. Question number 107, Mr. Hitesh Nair.
Madam Speaker, through you, I would like to ask the Honorable Minister of Communication the following questions. Will the Minister of Communications be pleased to state the coal drop rate, whether it is the fact that the coal drop percentage in India is 4.73%, which is almost 58% higher than the global standards and 135% higher than the TRAI's target. Some steps taken by the government to reduce the coal drop percentage were to check the details of the percentage of coal drop given by the service provider and to check the penalty imposed on the service provider for either not giving the information or giving the wrong information for the percentage of coal drop for each of the last 5 years.
Minister of Communications, Ms. Anjali Sain, please answer the question.
Madam Speaker, my fellow member has asked a very great question, which needs a great answer as well, and I'll do that. As per the performance indicator report for quarter ending March 2024, all telecom service providers are meeting the benchmarks of call drop percentage, and government has taken various steps such as assignment of sufficient spectrum, passive and active infrastructure sharing, right-of-way rules 2016 and amendments to facilitate expansion. Could you please My fellow members seem to be very impatient, but let me inform you that details of service provider wise percentage of call drops and the financial disincentives imposed on them for non-complying with the call drop related benchmarks are attached at Annex 01. And my fellow members can definitely take a look at
Any supplementary questions, Mr. Hitesh?
No.
The floor is now open for any supplementary questions. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 108083, please.
Madam Speaker, will the Minister of Education be pleased to state, firstly, whether the government has any specific plans to increase the funds for research and development, and if so, the details thereof. Secondly, whether the government has any specific data about the scholarships to minorities pursuing PhDs in the last decade, and if so, the details thereof. Lastly, whether the government has any data about the declining number of scholarships to minorities, and if so, the details thereof, since the discontinuation of Maulana Azad National Fellowship to minorities.
Minister of Education, Ms. Mitanshi Sehrawat, please.
Madam Speaker, recognizing research as a core requisite for quality education, the new Education Policy 2020 exhorts HEIs to focus on research and innovation by setting up startup incubation centers, technology development centers, centers in frontier areas of research, better industry-academic linkages and interdisciplinary research, including humanities and social sciences research. As per research and development statistics at a glance, 2023-24, the gross expenditure on research and development in the country has been consistently increasing and has more than doubled from rupees 60,196.75 crore to rupees 127,380.96 crore. Further, Anusandhan National Research Foundation Act 2023 was notified to establish the Anusandhan National Research Foundation, whose estimated cost for 5 years is rupees 50,000 crores. The Ministry of Minority Affairs, under Maulana Azad National Fellowship, has disbursed a total of rupees 887 crores to various beneficiaries, which includes 11,114 male and 13,128 female candidates. Thank you, Speaker.
Any supplementary questions, Mr. Kriti? No, madam. The floor is now open for any supplementaries. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 109, Mr. Rashid Kaliwal.
Madam Speaker, will the Minister of Chemicals and Fertilizers be pleased to state the number of Jan Aushadhi Kendras functioning in the state of Tamil Nadu? Whether the government has set any mechanism to access the medicines supplied through Jan Aushadhi Kendras? Whether the government has set any medicines are all substandards, and if so, the details thereof. Whether it's a fact that many poor people belonging to scheduled castes, scheduled tribes and other weaker sections are not aware about the facilities provided in Jan Aushadhi Kendras, and if so, the steps proposed to be taken by the government to launch awareness campaigns among the people about the same.
Minister of Chemicals and Fertilizers, Mr. Sumit Shahda, please.
Speaker Madam, statement referred to in reply to the Lok Sabha start question number 272 raised by Shri Selbamji regarding Jan Aushadhi Kendras in Tamil Nadu. Under Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana, 1,156 Jan Aushadhi Kendras have been opened till 31st July 2024 in the state of Tamil Nadu. Medicine supplied under PMBJP are procured from World Health Organization good manufacturing practices for ensuring the quality of the products. Only after passing the quality test, the medicines are dispatched to Jan Aushadhi Kendras. Madam Speaker, any not justify their actions taken. I request my fellow
non-anesthetic generic medicines. Through various types of advertisements and social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube regularly, and even by organizing Jan Aushadhi Divas every year on 7th March. Workshops and seminars are organized during various event celebrations such as Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, National Unity Day Week, to educate the consumers about PM-BJP scheme. Number of Jan Aushadhi Kendras has been increased from 80 in 2014 to 13,113 till 2024. This totally shows the popularity of the scheme. Till 31st July 2024, 912, yes ma'am, I repeat, 912 Jan Aushadhi Kendras have been opened in aspirational districts, which serves backward and SC dominated areas. Thank you, ma'am.
Any supplement, please, Mr. Rakshit?
No, ma'am.
The floor is now open for any supplementary questions. Let's move on to the last question. Question number 110, Jamni ji, please.
Madam Speaker, will the Minister of Ayush be pleased to state the details of the budget spent by the government on the training and seminars during the last 2 financial years year-wise, the number of the young persons permanently employed in the Ayush department, the details of various schemes of Ayush with the number of senior citizens benefited during the last whether there is any separate scheme for the treatment of third gender persons, and if so, the details thereof, along with the number of third gender persons who have benefited during these schemes from the last 1 year.
Minister of Ayush, Mr. Aditya Goyal, please.
Madam Speaker, the details of the budget spent by the organizations under Ministry of Ayush on trainings and seminars during the last 2 financial years are attached at the annexer. The Ministry has appointed 4 research officers in the PH category based on the recommendations of the UPSC, and one stenographer grade D has been appointed on the basis of the nomination received from the OPT. My fellow opposition might think that the budget that was given to Ministry of Ayush was thought to be spent in vain. But unfortunately, that budget was spent in the various schemes implemented by the ministry for the welfare for the citizens of India, in which the senior citizens were provided with the treatments and facilities available. The schemes that were run under Ministry of Ayush using that budget were: number 1, the establishment of the Central Research Institute of Yoga and Naturopathy with 200-bedded Yoga and Naturopathy hospitals at Jhajjar, Haryana and Nagamangalam, Karnataka. Both of these CRIs have started functioning by running OPDs and yoga classes. Moreover, the ministry has also established the yoga...
Madam Speaker, the detail provided in the supplement. Just like the comment about these details.
Yes, madam, this data is totally fake.
Moreover, the ministry has established the yoga and naturopathy, OPDs and wellness centers in various government institutes and hospitals of various states and union territories, including the states of Madhya Pradesh, Tripura, Odisha, Chhattisgarh and Union Territory of New Delhi. Lastly, the ministry has also established the Center for Mind-Body Intervention through Yoga in PGI Chandigarh, AIM Raipur and AIM Rishikesh. The number of senior citizens that were benefited from the schemes under the Ministry of Ayush was 1,56,000, and India is the country to which I have served. India is the country to which I have served, and I repeat, the schemes under the Ministry of Ayush are for the benefit for all the citizens of India, but apparently there is no such scheme for the third gender community run by the ministry. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, I have seen the report. This data provided is totally fake and
I beg to lay on the table the committee under Rule 331E(1)(a) of the Rules of Procedure considered demands for grants 2024-25 of the Department of Animal Husbandry, Dairying and Fisheries. The committee took evidence of the Department of Animal Husbandry, Dairying and Fisheries at the sitting held on 23rd April 2024. The report was considered and adopted by the committee at the sitting held on 25th April 2024. The Plan 20, Regulation of Import into India, 10th Amendment, Order 2017, published in Notification Number SO 4082E in the Gazette of India, dated 28 December 2017, under Section 4D of the Destructive Insects and Pests Act 1941.
Businesses is the message from the upper chamber. Secretary General, please report the message from upper chamber of this Parliament.
Madam, in accordance with the provisions of the Rule and Conduct of Business, I hereby am directed to enclose a copy of the Payment of Amendment Bill 2024 as passed by the Upper House of Youth Parliament at its sitting held on 22nd March 2024. Madam, I lay on the table of the House the Payment of Amendment Bill 2024 as passed by the Upper House of Youth Parliament.
Attention motion, Mr. Ashwarba, please.
माननीय स्पीकर महोदय, आज हमारे देश में राष्ट्रवाद के मुद्दे को, देशभक्ति के मुद्दे को राजनीतिक रंग दिया जा रहा है। आज हमारे भारतवर्ष में अल्पसंख्यक वर्ग, पिछड़े वर्ग, देश भर में असहिष्णुता बढ़ती जा रही है। इन सब मुद्दों पर हमारे सत्ता पक्ष के मित्रों का क्या विचार है? सरकार अपना रुख स्पष्ट करे।
Minister of Minority Affairs, Ms. Lakshika Jha, please.
हमारा देश भारत है, नदी गोदावरी गंगा, लिखा भूगोल पर हमने हमारा चित्र बहुरंगा। माननीय सभापति महोदय, हमारे देश में 1600 बोलियां बोलने वाले लोग, 12 धर्मों के अनुयायी, विभिन्न संप्रदायों को मानने वाले लोग निवास करते हैं। कुछ लोग ईश्वर के साकार रूप की पूजा करते हैं, तो कुछ उनके निराकार रूप की उपासना करते हैं। कुछ समुदाय पौधों में परमात्मा को मानते हैं, तो कुछ परमात्मा के अस्तित्व में ही विश्वास नहीं रखते। ऐसी विविधताओं से भरा हुआ देश है हमारा भारत। हमारा संविधान हमारी हजारों वर्षों की जो सांस्कृतिक विरासत है, उसकी अभिव्यक्ति है। हमारी सरकार संविधान के दायरे में रहकर देश को चलाने का प्रयत्न कर रही है। सबको जोड़कर सबका विकास करने की पद्धति पर काम कर रही है। हमारे जो प्रत्येक तबके के देशवासी हैं, हमारे जो दलित, पीड़ित, शोषित, वंचित भारतवासी हैं, उनके उत्थान का प्रयत्न कर रही है। हम सांसद जो शपथ लेकर इस पावन सदन में आए हैं, क्या हम किसी धर्म विशेष, किसी संप्रदाय विशेष या किसी विचारधारा विशेष के प्रतिनिधि हैं? नहीं, हम पूरे भारतवर्ष के प्रतिनिधि हैं और 128 करोड़ भारतवासियों का विकास, यही हमारा धर्म है। सभापति महोदय, हमारी सरकार एक रूपता की पक्षधर नहीं है, हम एकता के पक्षधर हैं। सभी संप्रदायों का फलना फूलना इसी भारत की पावन भूमि पर संभव है। और इसके साथ एक और प्रश्न उठता है, आइडिया ऑफ इंडिया क्या है? आइडिया ऑफ इंडिया है एकम सद्विप्राह बहुधा वदन्ति सर्वधर्मं समभाव सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया वसुधैव कुटुम्बकम्। भारत बुद्ध और गांधी की पावन कर्म
यहाँ अहिंसा परमो धर्मोः का मंत्र दिया गया है। स्वामी विवेकानंद जी ने भी यही कहा था कि भारत का आदर्श है वेदांतिक ब्रेन कपल विद एन इस्लामिक बॉडी। विविधता में एकता, यही तो हमारी पहचान है। कवि इकबाल ने भी कहा है, कुछ बात है हस्ती मिटती नहीं हमारी, सदियों रहा है दुश्मन दौरे जहां हमारा, सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा। सभापति महोदय, आज हमारे देश में धर्म के नाम पर, जाति के नाम पर, संप्रदाय के नाम पर, भोजन के नाम पर लोगों को बांटने का कार्य किया जा रहा है। यह जो विचारधारा है, यह जो विष है, यह अब समाज में घुलता ही जा रहा है। और ये आज से नहीं चला आ रहा है, यह अरसों से चला आ रहा है। और इसी बीच कुछ असामाजिक तत्व धर्म का चोला ओढ़कर विचारधारा की आड़ में समाज में अशांति फैलाने का कार्य कर रहे हैं। यह जो ध्रुवीकरण की राजनीति की जा रही है, यह जो लोग अपनी राजनीतिक रोटियां सेकते हैं, यह शर्मनाक है, यह भर्त्सनीय है। पिछले कुछ दिनों से इन मुद्दों को एक विशेष रंग दिया जा रहा है, एक विशेष कम्युनिटी को टारगेट किया जा रहा है। यह जो रंगीकरण है, यह जो सिलेक्टिव टारगेटिविज्म है, सरासर गलत है। देश की एकता, अखंडता और अक्षुण्णता से कोई समझौता नहीं किया जा सकता। यह देश आतंकवाद के मुद्दे पर, नक्सलवाद के मुद्दे पर, अलगाववाद के मुद्दे पर संगठित है और होना चाहिए। मैं ये कहना चाहती हूँ, पूछना चाहती हूँ, क्या हमारी आर्मी का वो जवान जो कड़ाके की ठंड में, भीषण गर्मी में दिन रात देश की सेवा में सरहद पर खड़ा है, जो लोग तन समर्पित, मन समर्पित, देह का कण-कण समर्पित, चाहता हूँ देश की धरती तुझे कुछ और भी दूं के विचार से ओत-प्रोत है, वे क्या किसी धर्म के लिए खड़े हैं? वे क्या किसी संप्रदाय के लिए खड़े हैं? वे 128 करोड़ देशवासियों की रक्षा के लिए खड़े हैं। इसी प्रकार हम सांसदों का क्या धर्म होना चाहिए? क्या हिंदू होना चाहिए? क्या मुसलमान होना चाहिए? सिख होना चाहिए या ईसाई होना चाहिए? अंत में मैं माननीय सांसदों से, पूरे देश से पूछना चाहती हूँ, क्या हिंदुओं को मुसलमान भाइयों से लड़ना है या मुस्लिम भाइयों को हिंदुओं के साथ? क्या दलित भाइयों को सवर्णों के साथ लड़ना है या सवर्णों को दलित भाइयों के साथ? मैं आह्वान करती हूँ, आइए हिंदू मुस्लिम एक होकर, दलित सवर्ण एक होकर गरीबी के खिलाफ लड़े, बेरोजगारी के खिलाफ लड़े, संप्रदायवाद के खिलाफ लड़े, जातिवाद के खिलाफ लड़े और हम सब साथ मिलकर स्वतंत्रता सेनानी और हम सब साथ मिलकर स्वतंत्रता सेनानियों ने, बाबा साहिब अम्बेडकर ने जो सपना देखा था, उसके लिए अपना कर्तव्य करें और एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत की दिशा में कदम बढ़ाएं। धन्यवाद।
This legislative bill to be introduced. Honorable Minister of Law and Justice, Ms. Devashi Pandey, please.
माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, आज का दिन एक ऐतिहासिक दिन है। आज का हमारा यह कानून ना किसी मजहब का है, ना किसी इबादत का है। यह कानून है नारी गरिमा, नारी सम्मान और नारी शक्तिकरण। यहाँ पर दूसरी बात मैं यह कहना चाहूँगी कि क्या इस सदन की जिम्मेवारी, यहाँ पर दूसरी बात मैं यह कहना चाहूँगी कि माननीय, यहाँ पर दूसरी बात मैं कहना चाहूँगी, हाल ही में माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने 3 तलाक को गैरकानूनी करार दिया। इस ऐतिहासिक फैसले के बावजूद आज हमारे देश में मुस्लिम महिलाओं के ऊपर अत्याचार हो रहा है, उन्हें घर से बेघर कर दिया जाता है, उनके गुजारे का कोई बंदोबस्त नहीं होता है और साथ ही साथ उनके अधिकारों की अवमानना होती है। तो क्या यह सदन खामोश रहेगी? माननीय उच्चतम न्यायालय ने कहा है कि इंस्टेंट ट्रिपल तलाक किसी पाप से कम नहीं और साथ ही साथ न्यायालय ने सरकार को इस विषय में कानून लाने की हिदायत दी। माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, यहाँ पर तीसरी बात मैं यह कहना चाहूँगी कि क्या इस सदन की यह जिम्मेवारी नहीं कि 3 तलाक से पीड़ित माताओं का, बहनों का और बेटियों का जो फंडामेंटल राइट है उसे इन्फोर्स करे। आखिर हमारी उन माताओं बहनों का जो संवैधानिक अधिकार है, क्या उसे इन्फोर्स करवाना हमारी जिम्मेवारी नहीं? अंत में सभापति महोदया, जहाँ तक 3 तलाक को गैरकानूनी और अपराध घोषित करने की बात आती है, तो मैं सदन को सूचित करना चाहूँगी कि शेड्यूल 7 लिस्ट 3 जो कॉन्करेंट लिस्ट है, उसके एंट्री नंबर 5 के द्वारा इस सदन को पूरा अधिकार है कि वह इस कानून को लाए और पारित करे। इसी के साथ मैं प्रार्थना करूँगी कि मुझे इस कानून को इंट्रोड्यूस करने की अनुमति दी जाए।
The question is that leave be granted for the introduction of the Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Marriage Bill 2024. Those who are in favor will please say aye. Aye. Those who are against it will please say no. No. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Members, the matters under Rule 377 shall be laid on the table of the House today. Members who have been permitted to raise these matters may now read their respective statements. Ms. Divyanka ji, please.
With the prior permission of Honorable Speaker, and I would like to make a statement under the Rule 377. Need to recognize Linayat religious tradition as a separate religion. माननीय सभापति और यहाँ पर उपस्थित सभी महानुभाव, हमारे भारत देश का एक दुर्भाग्य है कि आज़ादी के बाद यहाँ एक भरसक प्रयास हुआ है भारत की महान परंपरा, संस्कृति और इतिहास को भुला देने का। 12वीं सदी के महापुरुष भगवान बसवेश्वर जी का जीवन कर्नाटक की भूमि पर हुआ, जिनका जीवन न केवल पढ़ने समझने बल्कि जीने योग्य है। हमें अपनी संस्कृति पर गर्व होना चाहिए, किंतु हमें उसका पता ही नहीं है। हम मैग्ना कार्टा को पढ़ते हैं, पूरे विश्व में डेमोक्रेसी के आइडियल्स को, वैल्यूज को पढ़ते हैं, सीखते हैं, और हमें ये जानकर और भी खुशी होगी कि मैग्ना कार्टा से भी पहले भगवान बसवेश्वर जी ने कर्नाटक की भूमि पर अनुभव मंडप नाम की एक व्यवस्था स्थापित की थी। इस मंडप में हर वर्ग के लोग एक साथ बैठते थे, सामाजिक समस्याओं पर चिंतन करते थे और उसका सॉल्यूशन निकालते थे। आज हम वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट की बात करते हैं, उस जमाने में भी एक कंपल्सरी महिला प्रतिनिधि होती थी। लोकतंत्र, विमेन एम्पावरमेंट और सामाजिक लाभों के लिए भगवान बसवेश्वर जी का जीवन पूरे विश्व के सामने एक आदर्श स्थापित करने की क्षमता रखता है। इसी क्रम में उन्होंने लिंगायत पंथ की भी स्थापना की। पिछले कुछ दिनों से लिंगायत पंथ के लोग लिंगायत धर्म को मान्यता प्रदान करने के लिए आंदोलित हैं। मेरी इस सदन से और माननीय गृह मंत्री से अपील है कि इस पर चर्चा हो और तदनुसार आवश्यक कदम उठाए जाए। धन्यवाद।
To take up consideration of the Criminal Law Amendment Bill 2024, Ministry of State and Ministry of Home Affairs, please.
Madam Speaker, I rise to introduce the bill to repeal the sections 499 and 500 of the IPC decriminalizing defamation. Criminal sanctions are often misused as a tool for harassment, restricting free speech. In Ramesh versus Union of India and Pravasi Bhallai Sanghatan versus Union of India, the Supreme Court noted that these provisions are too broad, holding people liable for some opinions that some may find offensive. This restricts free speech and also fails to balance the public interest with individual reputations. This bill modernizes the definition of defamation, including cyber defamation, aligning Indian law with international standards. By removing criminal penalties, we promote free and open discourse, while maintaining civil remedies for genuine cases of harm. I now move the bill for House's consideration.
As it has been existing since the formation of Indian Penal Code and have not yet been challenged by the court of law.
Respected members, this government represents the will of the people. The need of the hour pertains not to criminalize defamation, but to acknowledge that the freedom to speak without fear is ensured. Even though the lawmakers did not decriminalize defamation, they created provision for amendment, recognizing that the needs of an ever-growing society may also change. वक्त रहता नहीं कहीं रुक कर इसकी आदत भी आदमी सी है. The present amendment is in response to Supreme Court's guidelines and the demands of the society.
I would like to bring to the attention of Honorable Speaker Madam that the backlog of cases in the Supreme Court and the High Courts regarding criminal defamation has already piled up, and bringing this amendment now would have an adverse effect on those people who have filed up those cases and are seeking recourse from our legal system. I request my fellow member to ponder upon this before giving further useless explanations. Thank you.
Information is not formulated with sufficient precision to enable the citizen to regulate his conduct. In fact, the restrictions must impair the right as little as possible. Law must be subjected to effective control. The sections 499 and 500 of IPC were enacted to put a check on abuse of free speech. So for the restrictions to pursue legitimate aim, it must satisfy the conditions of national security and public order. With these words stating the present law does not pursue legitimate aim, I strongly support.
I hope I have answered most of the points raised by members in the course of my speech. I once again thank you for your support and seek your cooperation in implementing this measure. I request the House to pass the bill.
House says that the bill to provide for decriminalization of Section 499 and 500 of IPC be taken into consideration. Those who are in favor will please say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against, please say no.
No.
I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Now the question is that clauses 2 to 10 stand part of the bill. Those who are in favor will please say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against it, please say no.
No.
I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Now the question is that clause 1, the enacting formula and the title stand part of the bill. Those who are in favor will please say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against, please say no.
No.
I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Those votes as have it.
Madam, I move the bill to be passed.
Motion moved that the bill is passed. Those who are in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against it, please say no.
No.
I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The bill is passed. Members, the resolution by leave of the House is withdrawn. The House is adjourned to meet tomorrow again at 11 a.m.
More than 33% of reserved seats that have been given to the women. This House exceeds that by far. So that's one. Congratulations on that, and I really hope more of this representation in the actual parliament as well. I am, at a loss of words almost, because the kind of issues that were raised here, you spoke about almost every aspect of what our nation needs at the moment. We spoke about environment, we were questioned about how our railways are working, what is being done for the water management, etc., etc. So all of those, it tells me that you are somewhere learning and understanding that all of these issues are important for running a nation. And I hope through this exercise you were able to understand how it actually functions when people sit there in the parliament, the representatives that we elect, send them there, what is it that they do? What does the opposition do?
what does the government do? The government, the elected members sitting on this side who actually form the government are accountable. An opposition, a strong opposition is always a sign that the government and the nation will progress. The government will be accountable to the people of India. Weak opposition actually is not good for the country. आप जब भी सवाल पूछते हैं, as people who are sitting in parliament, as citizens of the country, as people who are experiencing the systems in real life, whether or not you are a minister, whether or not you're sitting in the parliament, you have a voice, you have an opinion, use it to ensure 2-3 things. One is whether everybody who's in position, in power, are they accountable for what they're doing? Are they accountable to the role that we have given them? Are they accountable to the responsibility and the trust we've showed in these people? Because we only vote for them. After you turn 18, you will be voting for all of these people to go and sit in the legislative assemblies and in the parliaments. Accountability बहुत important है, सबसे पहली चीज. Because accountability in real life also ensures that the systems are working in the manner that they should be working. It ensures effectiveness of everything that we put in place, whether it is a policy, whether it is execution of the policy, whether it is the strategies that we put in place. ये accountability होती है दो तरह से, अपनी तरफ और दूसरी तरफ. अपनी तरफ जब accountability होती है उसको integrity बोलते हैं. That you are doing what is needed to be done even without somebody monitoring you. You're doing the right thing at all times. It shows you have the integrity of character and you have that sense of responsibility. Accountability on the other hand is also towards other people. जब आप खुद integrity से काम करेंगे, you obviously accountable to the other people, and how you ensure that other people are accountable to you is by asking questions which the opposition very well did. Right? That's one aspect. Another aspect is not to forget what the Constitution of our country stands for. It is a big fat book, it is a very big document, and we're constantly making changes to it to keep up with the current times. There have been some really historic amendments to the country, to the Constitution. There's also so much that the judicial system of the country is doing. Whether it is through the cases that is filed or through active judiciary, जो भी हम इसमें decisions आते हैं हमारे. As citizens, what is it that we can do today and forever is to ensure that the person sitting next to us does not get deprived of their fundamental rights because of anything that we do. We always talk about the freedoms that we have. We always talk about freedom of expression. बहुत इसके बारे में discussion होता है. We also talk about the freedom and the right to life and all the things that are entailed in right to life for us. But we forget that it comes with an added duty for us also to ensure that everything that we're asking for does not curb the same rights and freedoms of the person who is sitting next to us. Anything that you do may fall into your rights and freedoms, but if it is curbing the rights and freedoms and privileges of the other person, you need to look at how you are looking at things. You need to change your perspective. This is what our preamble also says. You can go back and look at it. It talks about certain ideals. It also talks about integrity. And the most beautiful thing is we've given it to ourselves. It wasn't worded in a manner that the government presents the constitution to the country, or certain people are giving it to us, or the Britishers gave it to us. It starts with the words, we the people of India. Who are we the people of India? It's us. It's each one of you here. So most important aspect of going by in your day-to-day life as citizen of this country and today as global citizens, because we are emerging superpower, is to adhere to fundamental duties. Because if we adhere to fundamental duties, our fundamental rights and our fundamental freedoms are automatically taken care of by the person who's next to us. Next to us doesn't mean जो हमारे साथ बैठते हैं. Next to us means anybody who's in your immediate circle of influence. It's the people who are in the house, your parents, your family. It's also the people who are in the house next to you. It's also the people who work for you. Most importantly, it is for the people who you know cannot stand and speak for themselves. Speak for those who do not have a voice or are not able to find a voice. As citizens of India and as children who are getting this privilege of getting good education, it becomes our duty. It is no longer a choice or an option. This is how we contribute, even if we're not sitting in parliament. That's my 2 words on this. Brilliant effort, congratulations to my सवाल पूछना बहुत ज़रूरी है. सही सवाल पूछना उससे ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. आप academics में पूछें या general life में पूछें, that should be your one takeaway from schools. Right? Very well done and congratulations to all of you. Thank you, nicely dressed. Good effort.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your kind words. And for
Thank you, children. Bye-bye.